talking with the owner of Golden Dinosaurs. They just had their grand opening this weekend. If you want to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about your business and how long you've been open.
Cool. Hey, my name's Audrey Dingeman. I am one of two owners of Golden Dinosaurs Vegan Deli. Myself along with my husband Brian, who's not here. Opened the deli on August 2nd of this year. So that's me.
Okay, what kind of products and services do you offer?
Well, we sell sandwiches, soups, salads, desserts. We do custom cakes, pies. We have beer, wine, beverages. We've got a little retail section now with merch
And everything you guys sell is 100% vegan?
100% vegan.
Now, how does that, according to global data statistics, veganism has increased 600% in the last 3 years. Have you noticed that in this area, and is that part of what inspired you to open a restaurant?
Yeah, my husband and I have been vegan for a long time. Back in the day, no one was vegan. It was kind of a faux pas. It was not something that everyone did. And, as time went by, more and more people, probably because of the internet and the exposure to like the conditions at factory farms and other big agriculture epidemics, people have started to realize that maybe introducing more plant-based options into their life, whether completely or in some form. People like my dad or my mom who 10 years ago made fun of me, didn't understand what vegan was. Now they're eating vegan 1 day a week or 6 days a week. So we decided that we wanted to open a vegan restaurant. 10 years ago, we wanted to open a restaurant. We weren't sure if it was going to be vegan or not. When we finally had the opportunity to open this place, we knew the time had come where there would be no question about it. It was definitely going to be a vegan restaurant. We did a lot of research before opening our doors. Do you want me to talk about that?
Yeah. Do you think that there is an adequate supply of vegan food in restaurants in the area?
No. So when we did our market research, we compared the city of St. Pete to other demographically similar cities such as Asheville, North Carolina, Santa Fe, New Mexico, and there was another one that I think it was a city in California, that are on a similar growth rate. They have similar age demographics. They have similar seasonality, and found that the sustainable number of vegan restaurants in a town of this size or a city of this size is 13 to 14. St. Pete had 3 at the time when we opened our restaurant.
Wow.
So we knew that there was a place in the market for us, and that what we were doing, besides being vegan, we were doing something that none of the other vegan restaurants were doing, which was making our own seitan in-house, which is a vegan wheat-based meat substitute.
Awesome. Cost of production, there's probably a lot of numbers, I imagine, that go into starting your own restaurant. Was that something you had to take into consideration when determining the prices of the goods you were offering? And how did you go about doing that?
Well, obviously, we put in a bunch of money to start our own business. We were luckier than most. We didn't have to get tons and tons of loans for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Everything kind of fell into place, and it was a little more attainable for us. So we do have some capital to repay. We're not in as much debt as a typical restaurant startup would be. So we don't really have to. Obviously we need to make a profit in order to survive and to keep growing our business, but no, we're pricing our goods based on our cost to produce those products and then also market value. So that's what we decide to use.
I took a look at your menu, and your prices are pretty reasonable compared to other vegan restaurants in the area. Do you think that has to do with that fact, or were you trying to create more of a demand by pricing lower than other vegan restaurants?
It might seem that our prices are lower, but it's all in the psychology of pricing. One restaurant in St. Pete that's all vegan, they include sides in theirs, so their sandwiches seem more expensive because it includes a side. where ours are a la carte, and when you really break it down, it's somewhat similar. We also make a lot of our stuff from scratch. We don't buy a lot of pre-made product, so that cuts down on our costs significantly, which makes it so that we can price our products a little bit lower than someone who uses pre-made products.
And have you had a pretty good response from the community?
I would say, yeah, I would say 98% of the customers that we've had have been elated that we're here, to say the least.
Awesome. How do you reach that customer base?
Before we opened, we started using social media, specifically Instagram, to help create a following. We wanted to create this restaurant, obviously to own our own business, but also to create a sense of community, to be a place that people can center themselves around for various things. So while it's a business for sure, it's more than that to us. So we created an account called St. Pete Vegan to kind of attract followers and like-minded people, and we would go around St. Pete and take pictures of food that we found at restaurants that people might not know had vegan options. So yeah, we initially, before we even had a name, before we had a business, before we had the building or knew exactly what our business model was, we had that Instagram account with the intention of eventually transferring it over to our business name, which we did. And we still primarily use Instagram. We have Facebook as well, but I'm not as adept at that. I just have our Instagram link to that.
Do you feel that social media has had a big impact on your consumer relationships?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's been great. It's how we tell our customers what we're doing today, this hour. It's how we tell them thank you for being awesome. It's how we let them know what's going on over here.
And do you think that the exponential growth of veganism will continue to rise? And do you have good projections for your business in the future?
Yeah, I think with the internet, with more and more people realizing the terrible effects of big farm and big ag and all that, more and more people are realizing that things need to change and they want to eat more plant-based. So yeah, I think it will definitely be increasing. It'll normalize for sure, be less of a scary word.
All right, well, thank you. That's about it for my time. I really appreciate you talking with us today, and I wish you the best in your restaurant.
Thank you.